I have one quick question for Lawrence. What is how does a project get introduced to you, CRE development, where you decide to take a look at a project? Is there a process that you guys have, or how does that work?
Well, people, well, they'll email me or email me directly if they know me, or send something to our general inbox, and then
Okay.
if there's enough information there that makes it look attractive to dig in, then that person or that group will call them back and say, hey, tell us a little bit more, and so it's fairly easy. It's just you got to throw it out there and see what sticks, really.
Do you have a list of things you look for when somebody proposes a project to you?
Yeah. So it's area first. What's going on in the area, and then we, does the project make sense? What stage is the project in? Is it just conceptual? Do you even have the property tied up, the land tied up? For example, we had a big project sent to us from Charlotte. I think it was in Charlotte, North Carolina, but it was conceptual. They just tied up the land and had a drawing, and they wanted to raise 20 million just to get to and through entitlement. And that's pretty big, and that's bold to get through entitlement. And
yeah, that's risky.
but it's risky, super risky, and we wouldn't touch it. If it was already entitled, we would definitely have a conversation. But even us, when we entitle a project, we'll entitle it ourselves in-house with our own money before we take it out to investors, just because we want them to have something to chew on and get their sink their teeth into, and know it's real. Like, this is a real project, it's really going to happen. And but going in before that is a little, it's just too risky. And then once you get to that point, and if you have an entitled project and it comes to us, for example, we had another one fully entitled. They were on their way to getting their building permit, but the finances on it, even though it was an opportunity zone, were really thin. They said it was going to cost 28 million to build and be only worth 30 million when it was done. I was like, wow, that's a big risk for a little bit of but just a little bump in value on stabilization. And so that's you really, if you have some good compelling things to send to somebody, entitled project, you have a pro forma. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be a pro forma that kind of gives a high level, this is what the project will cost, and then once it's stabilized, this is what it should be worth based on a cap rate of X, and that cap rate should be kind of what the area is warranting at the time. And that starts to get attention.